All right, we are live. Welcome, everybody, to Nina Goes Live, LinkedIn Straight Talk for coaches and creators. And today, for the third time, I'm very excited to welcome Judi Harrington of Judi 411 Writing Services. And we will be doing our, I think by now, famous Judi, right?
I think we're
Uh,
famous. If,
yeah,
if not legends in our own mind, maybe in a few others.
yes, exactly. But maybe by the time we wear t-shirts again and wish it was cold. Right now we are cold and wish it was t-shirt weather
Sure,
or
sure.
even tank top weather for all who care.
Yes, yes.
But today we're in for a special treat. We are doing our LinkedIn once-overs, our LinkedIn profile once-overs, I should say, backed by popular demand. And when I mentioned it in a class, in a workshop, it's sold out within minutes. So we have
Yes.
some really good profiles today to go through and roast, as I like to say, but we are doing once overs. We're not roasting. We're being kind
We are being kind. Always said with love.
with love, exactly, with lots of love. Judy,
Absolutely.
just give us a 2-minute introduction to who you are and what you do, just in case people are new to this and haven't met you yet.
So I'm Judi Harrington. I am the founder and one woman show known as Judi 411 Writing Services. I specialize in technical topics, or I like to say the highly regulated industries. Real estate, finance, and law are my three sweetheart verticals. But the what transcends that is that I bring complexity into simplicity and help you connect with your ideal client. And I do that largely through websites, newsletters, email campaigns, but a lot of the entry point to working with me is a lot of folks come to me for their LinkedIn profile, spiffing up, if you will. So this is kind of a teaser to what that experience is like.
Mhm.
And I'll be offering some tips today on headlines and the about me teaser sentences. That's what the
Excellent.
hyper focus
Excellent.
is today.
So I would say let's all sit up straight and take note. And so we have seven profiles to look at, which doesn't sound like a lot, but time always flies when we do these. So if you're one of the lucky ones, I think everybody RSVP'd and should be here. So say hello in the chat so we know that you're here. And then I'm just starting in the order of which we received and people RSVP'd the profile submission. So we're gonna start with Pam. So the way we've been doing it, Judi, you start, and then I come in with some feedback on the visuals.
Yes, yes. So, Pam, one of the challenges that I see for people in your space in particular is that while fractional COO is a highly searchable term, what's the challenge is distinguishing yourself from all the other fractional COOs out in the universe. So, for your headline, as it's currently stated, it's kind of hard for me to see the original here, but what I wanted to do is really get down to the meat of the matter of what distinguishes you from everyone else out there. So I have a couple of headline suggestions, and I'm happy to share these with people afterward via email. One is fractional COO and systems architect. I liked that a lot. Building proven infrastructure for sustainable growth, because I think what I saw in Pam's profile that she really was going down the route of being an architect. So I wanted to leverage that language. Another option is, fractional COO metrics, automation, and scalable ops for growth-ready businesses. That is another way to kind of delineate who your target market is. And then the third was fractional COO and systems architect turning manual operations into scale-ready systems. So those were some of the suggestions I had for kind of turning that into a little more crisp, to the point. And I know in other sessions we've talked about maximizing that
Mhm.
that space. I'm a little bit of an
You're
out.
not, right?
Right, I'm an outlier on that one. I
Yeah.
feel like when there's too much there, people just by nature see too much and they tend to like retract.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I am more in the camp of keeping it crisp and short, but
Mhm.
making it really clear who you are, what you do, and who you serve. So those are some alternate headlines for that. For the about section, it's the about me teaser language. We're talking about like the first few sentences that we want to make that what we call click worthy. So people move to the see more
Mhm.
portion of your about me.
Yeah.
And the about me teaser that I came up with for Pam is when growth gets stuck, the bottleneck is often infrastructure, not effort. I triage what's breaking and architect systems to built to scale. And that kind of gets to the point, here we are, this is what I do, how I do it, why I'm different, and the right person for you is going to click to see more.
Yeah. Yeah. That definitely is a great
Yeah.
sort of intro. Makes me curious, right?
Well,
Especially since so many of us, it's like the immediate go-to. I have to work harder. I have to do more, right? And it's not more; it's a system. So
no,
yeah,
less is more. Infrastructure is
yeah,
the genius behind your business.
yeah.
So that's what I had in terms of copy. I'm not sure what you had to say in terms of the visuals.
Visual. So I know Pam quite well, and the challenge a little bit I felt with this cohort of people that we're talking about today is since they are they're in a startup class with me, but they kind of all have already nearly all of them, pretty good profiles. So that makes it sometimes hard for me on the visual end to sink my teeth into and go like, no, 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 no. So I think Pam looks great. There's a couple of small things that are maybe more on the nitpicky side that I would like to point out. So and if I'm looking to this side, I'm looking at a big screen where I have the actual this here up. So first of all, Pam, since you have this really sort of whimsical background, which is very much you, I would definitely make sure that will get rid, just visually, I will get rid of the background on your profile picture. Because this now here it looks fine, but it becomes very distracting in contrast to your background. Having said that, I would do this either way. But having said that, the background, um, it is you, it is your brand. But when I come to this profile and I don't know you, I might not know what to do with this. So you might want to think about a visual solution where you maybe take, one of your, you know, buzzier words and put it into the headline as a letter visual, or introduce. And let me see if I can get to this really quickly. You have this incredible avatar that you use in your posts all the time. I would introduce her this here. So although I'm not much a fan of AI generated images, Pam does this amazing job of having this very relatable, she's us trying to make our solo businesses work. And it's so whimsical, it is so cute, and it's so consistent that I would actually take this and make this part of the banner. Let me see if I can get back to it without, yeah. So that would be my suggestion on
Yeah.
the visual side.
I don't typically jump in about the visuals because we like to jump that I'm the person that Canva makes me cry and those types of things. But to piggyback on your comment, the banner, I wonder if there is an opportunity because we're leveraging the term architect or
Yes.
architecture or infrastructure, if there is some way to leverage a visual that complements that idea so that it's, you know,
Yeah, and I think she's moved away. Like she used to be a funnel specialist for some really high
okay.
end coach, and maybe that's sort of a not has been, but we are now 3 steps further down how we do our business. So I'm venturing to guess that this is still an image left over from that time. And again, it's a great image. It's very Pam, but time to rethink the image. And I would introduce, yes, I think the architecture part would be amazing, and that could be visually so stunning, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. So hopefully that was helpful for everybody. But what's really good with the picture, and we'll talk about this more as we see the other people. The ratio of background to how the headshot takes up the space, that's perfect. So no need to fix that. I would just get rid of the background. Alrighty, I'm going to move on to NJ. And I'm going to let you do the wordsmithing, Judi.
Yes. So this was super fun. I just want to pull up the notes I have here, and I have another screen with her profile that I can actually see, as opposed to what I have when I see it through the StreamYard. So the original is AI productivity strategist, practical ways to use AI so life and work feel manageable, chaos to control with AI. What I know about the AI space right now is that people are having a really tough time actually getting ROI with it. So I wonder, to the extent that NJ can leverage that in her messaging. So one of the things I typically don't want people to lead with what their title is unless it's super highly searchable. Like AI productivity strategist, I would probably keep that because people are actually searching for that very specific term. And then to complement that, I have some suggestions here. Turning AI adoption into actual ROI, less busy work, more output. AI productivity strategist, AI as a second brain for teams who need results, not more tools. Chaos to control. So leveraging some of the language that's already there, but expanding the concept a little bit more. And the third suggestion I have here is AI strategy and productivity consultant, helping teams profit from the AI they already pay for, practical workflows and training. So those are the things that, that's largely leveraging what I know of the space. I write for a couple of AI developers. So I know that that's what one of the challenges out there is, that I think people ran to it as, kind of the easy button or what have you, but organizations and companies are having a tough time justifying the cost because it's not really bringing the ROI. So that's for the headline. For the About Me teaser, I just got straight to the point. If AI is implemented, but nothing feels faster, easier, or more profitable, you don't have an AI problem, you have an execution problem. And to me, that gets right to the meat of the matter. It really identifies how NJ distinguishes herself from others in the marketplace. And it kind of turns the popular notions around it on its head. And that makes people stand out.
Yeah. I love that, actually, because it makes you stop and think and go like, wait, a little bit like you did with Pam, right? And that's exactly what we want. We want that stop and think, right? Yeah.
When I read that, I'm like, and not just because I wrote it, but like I read that, I'm like, oh, that's something different. Like a different spin on, what people are talking about. And, the zeitgeist is kind of one of the ways I like people to distinguish themselves out there.
Sure. And I also think that, and now I'm butting in on the text, which I normally don't do, is you don't need those periods. They actually feel visually very distracting. And also from a reading point of view, you already have the straight line, which is also my preferred way of delineating things.
Thank you for that.
But so then, just get rid of the periods. Those are totally unnecessary. Yeah.
Great.
So from a visual point of view, obviously we have no visual on the headline, on the head banner. And here, even if you're not good with design or anything, if anything else, just put a blank, like one solid color there. Anybody can go onto Canva and, go into templates, put in, LinkedIn header, you immediately get a gazillion samples. If nothing speaks to you, just take a blank one, put white for all I care, or like the green of your sweater or whatever it is, and put that there even if it's just a placeholder for now. And have AI create one for you. I mean, for crying out loud, right? So that's a headlines head banner. So there's not much I can say about it because there is none. Now the profile photo also, there's a couple of challenges here. I mean, you're looking right at the lens. I think that's fine. It doesn't look to me like a headshot. It looks more like a snapshot to me, but I might be wrong on that. So if you have one where you're frontal looking, that would be better. If it has to be this one, flip it, because what you're doing right now is you're looking outside, you're looking away from instead of into. So I always want to make sure that when we have a profile, like, Pam is looking, she's looking in this direction into her profile. It makes it a cohesive one. This here it looks very disjointed looking because you're looking out away, like you're kind of looking outside of the screen. So I would flip this or look for another photo. And I like that the background is white. I like the size of the head. That's all good. I actually like the green because it makes you stand out, because that's one of the things, like I see a lot of people using like poppy background colors, like, fluorescent yellow or Kelly green or whatever it is, or, red, orange to make their profile tiny little heads, as you're like, like these guys here, right? To make it pop. You could do something like this. So I like the white, and I think the green helps, but definitely find a photo where you're looking the other way, or flip this one if it doesn't look too weird.
Can I just one last thing before we move on, Nina? Again, I think we're just let's just call it today. We can button each other's business if we want.
Yes, absolutely. That's what makes it fun.
This is what collaboration is all about. But for the background banner, I'm not saying don't go use AI. But another resource is Unsplash. And there's a lot of free photos out there that you're able to download. And, they do ask you to give credit to the person. I think there's ways that you can do that. I'm not entirely sure, but that is another resource available to folks if they're looking. They don't want to necessarily have a good plain color, or if they don't want to have an AI generated one, then another option is using Unsplash.
Yep. And I mean, you can just use your a plain background and then add stuff to it, right? Just not too much stuff.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Agreed. Okay, let's move on to Rachel.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just pulling up her profile. Deal with me just one moment.
Yep.
Oh, this was a really fun one. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, she's visually really interesting too.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So while you pull that up, the one thing I want to just mention is, so her business is Wild Genius, right? And you see how she has here the LinkedIn generic, dreadful box. Yeah. What I always tell people is, when you create especially if you create your own business and you have the control over what it looks like, and it's not some, business you're working for that doesn't have a presence on LinkedIn. I mean, she even has a link to, no, Wild Genius does not have a link. Okay. So create a, landing page for your business on LinkedIn. It takes 2 seconds, and upload the logo for the sole purpose. You don't have to do anything with it. I give you permission to just have it sit there empty after you create it, but upload the logo for the sole purpose of then connecting it with your profile here. And that will allow this here to go away and be your logo, your business logo. So I think that's really, really important, especially for the very first experience you have, because that shows up here. And if you don't want to do that, or you cannot do it for any reason, go into your settings and tell the settings that you don't want your lost education and your lost job to show up here, because you can actually control that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the written word, and I'll come back to the banner and the
Thank you.
picture.
All right. So I have actually written for a lot of folks in the coaching industry. And this is another case of like life coach is something that's highly searchable. So we want to see it probably closer to the front of the headline. But here is how would you distinguish yourself from everyone else in the room? What I'm seeing on the existing one is, again, I think there's just so much there. I look at that and I'm like, it feels like there's just a lot to read. I look for a headline. I want it to be really crisp and to the point. So some of the suggestions I've made here, the options I have are life coach for heart-driven entrepreneurs, clarity, courage, and a life that fits. Reclaim your wildness and live in your zone of genius. And then I had another one here, a little variation on the theme, mindset and words coach, rewrite the stories holding you back. To me, that really is the one that captures the essence of what I'm seeing in Rachel's profile on the whole.
I like that one a lot.
And then for the About Me teaser, I have something that is definitely leaning toward that third option. If your life looks fine from the outside, but doesn't feel alive on the inside, you're not alone. The ache you can't quite name, it matters. And I think I really want to speak to that archetype. And I'm sure you've done that archetypal work, like who your ideal clients are and what their pain points are. And I think language like that really lands with folks who are in that, like, I don't know what I'm doing next space, which it sounds to me is the people you're looking to attract.
I love that. I love that a lot. The one feedback I would give, since we're giving each other feedback at this point, is on your, and I've now pulled up on the other big screen what you prepared. By the way, folks, this is like this takes some preparing for. So we're not just doing this, especially in Judi's case, not just off the cuff. So I have a bit of a issue with the word heart driven, like mission driven, heart driven. For me, these have become really cliche words. And even if they're not in the specific case of this one person, I think they're just overused at this point, where I'm like, aren't we all heart driven? I mean, I know it's heart driven versus like stone cold bro marketing tactics, bottom line driven, but still, but I really especially loved your last option. That was rewriting the stories holding you back. I mean, that is very, very, very powerful stuff. Yeah. So, yeah. On a visual side, so you know how, and those of you who know me well know that I always am a big fan of removing the background. In this case, do not. I actually would say just don't touch the damn thing. It's perfect. It is so organic. I love that the background of the profile picture, which oddly enough is not. Oh, there we go. I mean, it's a different species of green, but I see that as a citizen pruner and somebody who is like infatuated with trees, but because this is a fern, but I still love it. It's like you with trees, plants, that's a thing, and it's very clear, it's very organic, it's very nature. You look just as I think it's a perfect picture. I would say it's perfect. And I love the quote from Mary Oliver. Even if it's someone else's quote, it's very perfect right here. And I love your tagline. I mean, what about you, Judi? Are you with me on those two?
I have to say, like, that Mary Oliver quote is chef's kiss.
Yeah.
On that banner. And rewrite your story, reclaim your wildness, live in your genius. Like that says it all. And I think, Mary Oliver, she's, a timeless part of the cultural zeitgeist, and people who are attracted to Mary Oliver's work are people who are likely going to be in the same
Rachel,
place, in alignment with Rachel, for sure. It's a great clarion call, for sure.
Yep. Excellent. All right, moving on. Rachel, good job. So here is fielding. Why don't you? So, by the way, just to the point that we made earlier, that you can tell what you want to have show here. So, like, Shelby only has her business, but not her latest school. Rachel has both, and Fielding also just she only has her university, but not her latest work. And now I'm wondering whether she actually does have a logo here, so she could bring that up if she wanted to, and I would actually suggest she do. But let's talk about the headline and the about.
One of the verbs, and Nina knows this about me, is that I am on a crusade to have people think of other ones, is the verb help. It has become somewhat diluted, helping grant writers prepare for federal grants. I'm really craving like a juicier verb here. So some of the suggestions I had here were write less, win more, federal grant strategy, and AI support. Because what I'm gathering from the listing is that that's where those, it's the intersection of federal grants writing with AI tools embedded. Land federal funding with a process built to win, like something very clear, or turn federal grants into a reliable funding channel. And I think that's a huge pain point in the nonprofit area, or any. I mean, I don't really know a whole lot about the nonprofit area, but for grant writing, I understand it's mostly that's the space. And it's very competitive to get these funds. So finding a way to really stand out, because you are at heart a wordsmith, Fielding. So really lean into that in the headline. For the about me teaser, I have, you already know federal funding is where the big opportunities live. The missing piece is a process that makes federal grants feel doable, winnable, and repeatable.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
Because I think that's what the, I think what I'm seeing as the value prop here is that this intersection is going to accelerate, obviously, what you're already doing.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, this is really good copy. I love it. So visually, profile picture, there's nothing wrong with it. I like it. Again, you could remove the background if you wanted to, but you don't have to. I think I'd be slightly happier if we didn't have the corner of this picture poking you in the head, quite frankly. But it's out of focus. It's, again, the picture is small. It's going to be even smaller in certain places. So it doesn't bug me a lot, but that could be a small, place with room for improvement. And then your headline, I keep saying headline because we're so into headlines here today. Your banner, it bugs me here, obviously, that you are covering up your logo. So I would make sure that doesn't happen. I also don't like that it cuts off here. I also think that it's enough to have the logo once. You don't need it twice. So I would say get rid of one of them, and make sure that they're, in either case, not cut off. I think Federal Grants Accelerator, I think that is your program, so that's fine. Again, there's room for improvement in terms of centering it and moving it up a little and moving it over. And like, I would move it up a bit, I would move it over a bit. We don't need this line here. And the join now, some people have call to actions in their header. I'm not a big fan of it. I want people to first land on my profile, look at my picture, and make that split-second decision whether they like me or not. And a call to action, I think, has no business other than ring the bell and connect with me or something like that. But even that, I think, is too much. But that's my personal opinion. But a real call to action, as in join now. Why would I join? I know absolutely nothing about you yet. So that doesn't belong there.
Yeah, it's a little premature. And I wasn't clear about when that Federal Grants Accelerator. I wasn't sure if Fielding was referring to her work or if it was a program, and it wasn't until you pointed out that smaller. Right. So it is actually.
It is her program, and I know that because she's right, exactly of mine. But it lacks context, right? So, and then also since we're butting in on each other's, the one thing that you had last time, and by the way, Judy, I've been using that line,
Mhm.
so basically what Judy said last time, I'm going to botch it, but try and say the same thing. All these wonderful titles that people add to their names,
Mhm.
99.578% of us have no effing clue what they mean. And then we start looking them up. And then before we know it, we are
Yes.
at Target shopping for llamas or no, alpacas.
Well, next thing we know, we're at Walmart shopping for alpacas. That's what it is.
That's
Yes,
what it
yes.
is. We get
Thank you for
distracted. We go down the rabbit
remembering
hole,
that
right?
out.
So, I would say here, I mean, unless you're an MD or it's something like very clear.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have these people with these long, long titles. It's also a pain in the ass when you're, or in the butt. I might know what's better there. When you at mention somebody and then it's like 50,000 letters show up, right? Rather than just
Yeah,
your
the
name.
alphabet soup. The
Yeah,
alphabet soup.
yeah,
To the point, and thank you for that reminder. I
yeah.
was so laser focused in other areas. I completely forgot to mention that as
Yeah.
well.
Well, it came up here for the first time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I would say don't if you don't have to, or for legal reasons have to. That could be as well, right? So, um, and then if you, the green, I'm assuming the green is your logo green. Let's see. Yes, it's here as well. Maybe find a way to incorporate that green in your headshot a little bit, so they find each other, right? So your profile photo and your header have a visual commonality, because I mean that is what makes this so fantastic, right? We have green, we have greenery, and it pulls it all together. So I'm missing that a little bit here. The shot itself is fantastic, but and by the way, I love this shot because it looks sort of, it's friendly, but there's also sort of a mischievousness about it that I thought find extremely attractive and very, um, uh, yeah, I could imagine having a lot of fun with you.
Yep.
Okay, let's move on to Nikisha. You want to go first?
So I'm just pulling up the profile. So if you want to head it, just jump right
Yep,
into.
yep, absolutely. So I love that we got the logo here, although it's not a logo, it's another headshot. It's okay. A logo would be better, but maybe this is your logo. And then, so this is a great picture of you, Nikisha, but I would give this to a professional Photoshopper, because your face is in shadow and your hand is perfectly lit, but everything else, especially if you think of how small these headshots are going to be as we walk around LinkedIn, it gets lost. So I would make sure that we put some highlights to make sure that your face pops better. And then definitely want to get rid of the shadow here. That's very distracting. I would actually just get rid of the background of this image altogether, and maybe even make it the same beige or a darker or lighter tonality of that beige. And then for the background, the header, I like the header. It's your logo, so you do have a logo, so replace this with this. And I know I hear your pain too. I also have one of those long logos with Clockwise Productions Inc. And often I then just use my little the icon, and you could just use the NK, right, and leave the business essentials for little logos like this, or favicons away, like drop it. Now here the MBA doesn't bother me, right? Because everybody and their grandmother knows what an MBA is, right? Yeah.
Same.
But I like this one system at a time. Oopsie, I didn't mean to do that. One system at building iconic, one system at a time. CEO, that all works for me, and it's simple, but it's very clean, and that I like. And I would love you for your headshot to replicate that.
Yeah.
That would be my visual feedback.
Yeah. As someone who gravitates more to the written word over the visuals, I'm not, this is not to discount anything Nina's saying, but I was like, when I came to this profile, I was like, iconic. Yes.
Mhm.
Right. And I love that the gorgeous hue of red hair. I was like, yes, this is like a fiery personality. So this was, I that's how I responded. But now when you point out the granular things, I'm like, oh yeah.
And you know, now that you say that, now I'm geeking out. You know what I would do, Nikisha? Make this line the red of your hair, or or make the CEO the red of your hair, like a little, like recreate this deliciousness here, in somewhere in the background here. I think that would be just
yeah,
the
I just love that.
little extra
And
accent.
like you, Nina, like the NBA didn't phase me too much. Welcome to the city. We're having all sorts of emergencies on the highway.
And for once, it's you and not me, because I live in Manhattan. Like, I have fire engines going past my house, but we're just so snowed in. I think there is no
in
fire.
Somerville, Mass today, and which is funny enough that in my house in Medford, I'm like a block from the fire department, and we've never had them come through.
And now you're like,
now I'm like
away, and you have fire engines
on the road, and they're all over the place.
They missed you. What can I say?
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. We can do hard things. So what I noticed, Nikisha, in your headline was some of this alphabet soup that I was talking about, the VSCO CRMs. Like, I know what CRMs are, but I'm not entirely sure what VSCO is.
No,
so this is the moment that I'm like, oh, let me go look that up. And then next thing you know,
alpacas.
I'm buying an alpaca, right? It's just, it never fails. And then I'm like, oh, what was I doing? Right. So I don't want people to feel that when they see you. I want them to remain, because it's a powerful page when you first come to it visually. And I want to be able to keep people's attention.
Yeah.
So I've also, worked with a lot of growth strategists. So certified business growth strategist for entrepreneurs is just a little too bland. Juxtaposed to how you're building iconic. And I love that iconic also has a K at the end. That's one of my favorite things, is when we purposely misspell words to remain memorable. So some of the rewrites for the headline that I have here are: build a profitable, creative business that doesn't depend on you. Sales plus scalable ops. And I think that's the way that your folks speak. They say ops, not operations. So like kind of really dialing into the language your ideal clients are using. Another alternative here is turn your services into consistent revenue plus time back. Simple systems plus confident sales. Stop scaling chaos, build profit, capacity, and long-term wealth, including real estate. Because I noticed that was
highlighted.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love stop scaling chaos.
What's that?
I love the stop scaling chaos. That is about,
first of
all, I love that it because she has the iconic, and then there's sort of like a rhythm to it, right? Because we say with this sound, so scaling chaos.
Even not having, as I like to say, I couldn't pick you out of a sea of people. Like, I don't know you from anybody, but I could almost hear that sentence, stop scaling chaos, as something that could probably come out of your mouth.
No.
So those are my comments on the headline. For the About Me teaser, I'm gonna be honest, the one I drafted is probably a little too long, but we could definitely edit this down. You don't need more clients, you need a business that keeps more of what it earns. Boom. If you're busy, booked, and still not seeing consistent profit or time freedom, the fix isn't hustle, it's a stronger structure.
Ooh, again, yeah, I love that thought. You had that on an earlier one, but totally different.
Yeah,
I think that's and that's what a lot of us struggle with, right? That's a real big struggle, right? Because we're like, we immediately default to I need to do more of, and it's like
less is more.
Less is more. Yeah,
less is more, and you can do less when you have the right systems.
Yeah,
the systems are the scaffolding.
Yeah. Brilliant. So we're back to architecture.
We're back to architecture. Yes.
Yeah. But everybody needs different kind of architecture. So there's place for many. I love this. Yeah, very, very good. So now I was actually curious, just to see. Yeah, so I would put here the NK if I was you, not your headshot. And again, you know your people, but that's what I would do.
Mhm.
All right. Are we ready to move on to Candice?
Yes.
All
Let's get
right.
that.
So let me go first so you can pull her
Yeah,
up.
please, thank you.
Yeah. So what I love, first of all, great job with pulling up both her university and her company with their logos. And I absolutely, there's this little detail, which I don't even know whether you notice. I notice it immediately, which is this line here. Look at this. That is just like, that is so cool. That this is perfectly aligned. I don't know how many, I see myself like with a bottle of wine that's gone at the end one evening, sitting there and moving this over a millimeter to this and that side until I hit it perfectly. So this
Yeah.
looks cool. I love the candid where the eye is a exclamation mark turned on its head, or the eye is turned on its head to be an exclamation mark. Like sort of the collab under it. That works really well for me. Um, this part of it is a bit busy. I would strip it of at least 40, if not 50% of the stuff. So, let's make our header work for us, but let's also not clutter it. I think there's sort of a fine balance between the two. Um, Messy marketing, chaotic community, let's build a system. That's fine because I mean, again, the words I'm going to leave more to Judi, but to me, it just signals immediately, I'm a marketing person that focuses on community and I help you build systems, right? I kind of get that immediately. Let's lose the duct tape, book a free call. That has nothing to do there. Again, I don't want a high friction call to action there. Those of you who work with me know what I mean by high friction. I'm not going to get into it right now. I would also lose this here. I would lose these two because I'm like, I want to kind of don't know how to read them. Ambassador, official, something or other, notion. I don't know what it means. So I have no. They might be really super important. Something or others that you got, but I don't know what they mean, and I have a hard time reading them, and I find them visually unappealing. I would lose them. But again, you might be married to them, but at a minimum, lose these two. I love the little guys. I would space them out a little better once you lose these two. You can move her over and down a little, so there's a nice little like circle. I don't know why he doesn't get to play with these three. I'm assuming he's maybe the teacher, but even as a teacher or community leader, you are connected. So if you're going to do arrows between these guys, make sure he's not left out from the party. And then your headshot is great. You look right at the camera. You have a nice smile. And you're wearing your own T-shirt. And again, as I said, it's perfectly integrated into your head banner. So great job there.
I too, well, first of all, when I came to this profile, I didn't even know that there was someone out in the world who did this. So I was like, oh, okay. But the thing is, I knew right away once I saw that banner, what you did. I will have to agree with Nina. It is a little busy, and having that to schedule a call and all those call to actions there. We're really trying to build trust on that first blush when people come to your profile. And if you wouldn't have someone come to your office and be like, hi, ready to buy something? Right. So in the same way, when we go, oh, sorry, this is.
I was trying to sneak in my coffee.
Moments where we're going to remember this for a long time. The time Judi almost made Nina choke on the LinkedIn
on
Live.
her latte,
But in the same way, you wouldn't do that if they came to see you in person. We don't want to do that online. This is an invitation to find out who you are, what you do, and how you do, and who you serve, right? And why you're different, right? So I'm echoing those from a different point of view. In terms of the headline, make community your moat. Now, I saw moat all in caps, and I went alpaca shopping.
Yeah.
I went
I
alpaca
did the
shopping.
same thing. I'm like, what's
I
a
said, "What's
what's a
moat?"
moat?
I said, "Oh, is this," and while I work within the marketing world, I don't know all the acronyms. I don't know all the things, right? So I went on this little, on this little bird walk to go find out what that is. I'm like, "Oh, I think I don't know." And then I came to the conclusion that moat was literally a moat around your business. That's what I drew from it. Um,
Like the thing that protects you?
Yeah, so the thing that protects you. But my point here being is that
It raises
it's
to the
confusing,
fact that we're having a 5-minute conversation about it means that yeah.
right?
Okay.
Yeah. So if we're going down these paths, and I kind of like draw this point out to make the point.
Yeah.
But the way to reel that back in is just get very, very clear on the problem that you're solving. And for here, I think we want folks to self-identify as, oh yeah, I'm that person, right? So I came up with 3 variations on the headline. First is build a community that grows your business without burning you out. Turn your audience into a self-sustaining, revenue-driving community. Because I think that's, at the end of the day, the
Is
problem
that
you're
the
solving.
moat? Probably, yeah.
That's what you're solving for people.
Yeah.
And then the third one is community systems that drive engagement plus revenue without founder babysitting, because that was the other thing I was kind of inferring from all of this, is that your typical client is someone who has to be the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, and the chief book and bottle washer and cook, right? You take that load off. So that's, I honed in on the language in that way. For the About Me teaser, and these 2 are a little bit long. I'm not sure that they would all show up before you hit a see more, but if your community only works when you're constantly feeding it, it's not sustainable. Contributor-led communities create growth, engagement, and revenue without draining your time through simple systems, smart automation, and practical strategy. Now, you could keep those 2 sentences, and even if the see more stopped after that sustainable, that people would be like, oh, yeah, that's true. If I'm the one doing all the things, it's not sustainable. Then they're going to click and look, see what more you have to say. So those were my thoughts on this. But most of all, I was like, I didn't even know someone out in the world did this very specific thing.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool what she does, and she's also a really cool person. So, yeah, this is. I love how you're sort of bringing it together. And I had the same reaction with the moat. I'm like, MO. Is it like a goat? Greatest of all time, mediocre of all time. Like, my brain. Yeah, and then the alpaca wasn't far. All right. Should we tackle the last one?
Let's do the last one. Who is it, Ellen or Dawn?
Neither. It's Paya. Did you not have Paya on your list?
I have Kaya on my list, but
let's see. Let's see what we can come up with.
Pull up. Oh, Paya, my friend Paya. I thought you said Kaya. I wasn't. Paya,
right? Yeah.
Robbins. I know Paya. I've known Paya for a really long time. So let me pull that up so I can see it on my screen here. And thank you everyone for your patience.
Let me get started with her then.
We go right ahead.
All right. So this is a really hard one for me because I absolutely adore her head image, but it's not her business, right? It's is actually very much a spreadsheet person, and very organized, and she helps people be organized, stay organized. She's an executive VA. So as much as I love this, I would say do something else and do something that speaks more to your business.
Can I pop in on this one real quick?
Please do, because I'm actually this one has been giving me a stomach ache.
Because I've known Paya a really long time.
Okay, good. So you know much better than I do.
So many great visuals on her website. that I think could be leveraged for
Yeah.
that banner. I would definitely go down that path of exploring it. I
Right.
mean, I'm not going to go pull it up and start making suggestions, but that's where I
Yeah.
would go first
Yeah.
because I think there's a lot of great visuals there
Okay.
that
So she
complement.
has the visuals. She just needs to put them there.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So again, I think as much as I love this and it's perfect and it's super cute and if you were a florist, I'd say like don't touch it, but you're not a florist, right? Um so let's have a look at your headshot. It's a great headshot. Again, I would make the background something else but a washed out gray, something that pops more. Um because you're kind of covering this picture here or a plate, something hanging on the wall. You got the greens growing out of your hair. I don't know how good Canva is at this point with curly hair, but it's done a pretty good job for me, and I kind of have these flyaway hairs. So I think you might actually just be fine with Canva, and then I would make it in either white or in tone and tone with whatever it is that you choose to be your head banner. Um, your logo is black and white, so you could make the background white if you wanted to. That would, I think, that would be fine. By the way, what is really annoying the hell out of me is that all these frames now are blue. It's like,
Yeah,
what the f?
yeah.
Not
Not a
hers.
fan.
All right. I just noticed this today, and not Nikisha and not Candice.
Interesting.
So, oh, now I'm dying to look at mine. I don't know where this blue is coming from. I've never seen this before.
I wonder if it's because it's picking up the colors that are in the banner.
No, it's always the exact same blue. Look at this.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but for Pam and Nikisha. So I'm not sure what's going on there. So good picture. It fills out the frame properly. Again, I like sort of the mischievousness of it.
Mm.
It's like I'm gonna go and what do you say in English? Tip cows. Is that the expression? You go tipping cows, or we say stealing horses in
Tipping.
German. When you go and you like
You,
paint the town red.
oh, you're all being mischievous, you mean?
Yeah, but when you have a friend you go and do all the mischievous stuff with, you go and you paint the
Yeah.
town red. Isn't there
Yes.
an expression that either involves horses or
Tipping,
cows?
I know tipping cows from, that's kind of like an Irish phrase.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Paint the town red. Maybe, I don't know. That's not quite the
that's
same.
not the same thing because that's more going out. But like in German, we say you go and steal horses with someone.
Mhm.
That's like your best buddy that will go with you through thick and thin, and you can just do
Yeah.
anything with
Ride
them.
or die. I say ride or die.
Ride or die. Okay.
Ride or die.
Okay, good. Thanks
Um,
for the
all right.
expression
So
there.
for the
Okay.
wordsmithing part of
Yeah,
it,
please go ahead.
here's the thing. I've known Paya a really long time. I'm not sure if she's on the live with us today, but this is so understated for who she is. Like, if
I
you
love expression.
subscribe to her email list, she has a whole series of like truth bombs that she sends out to people,
Mhm.
violent confirmations, and they are like, I live for them. They come right up to, and Paya is, I mean, she's like she is an executive, VA, but she has this unbelievable systemic mind that she can look at she can see it from the 30,000-foot view, and then she can get into the granular
Mhm.
and make
And
things smoother for
yeah,
you,
no.
right? She'll also hold your feet to the fire, and there's no excuses with her,
Mhm.
right? So you have to be ready for the ultimate in tough love. That is who she is, and I think that this is really understating that and burying that lead, and that will is how she stands out in the world, and I think even on LinkedIn, this is a place to do it. People think,
Yeah.
"Because it's LinkedIn, I gotta be a little more polite, and I gotta, like, do this or that." No, you need to be you.
Mhm.
You need to be you.
I mean, I like her headline is very to the point. Again, lose the periods. But what is there anything? What would you suggest, sort of off the top of your head?
I mean, it is clear it does get to the point, but there's something here
We
I'd
don't
have
know what she does, right? These are just two statements. I kind of want to know.
true statements, but I think what's different about her is that she's not gonna hold your hand. She's gonna make sure that you're getting shit done, period. Like GSD, get shit done. Like I would like
Well, I mean, look at her about section. She says it in the first sentence. Let's get one thing straight. If you're looking for an easy button, it ain't it,
in a
John.
trial. So
Yeah.
this is
This
the
is her. Yeah.
this is the tone, right? I want to see more of this in the headline.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I
Even
think
she could move that into the headline.
yeah,
If she has enough characters there.
yeah, she could totally do that. And she does. She works with
And then she could even say at the end of it, but I'll show you which button to press, or I'll guide you.
Well,
You
that
know,
last line, you bring the vision, I'll build the infrastructure that makes it inevitable. Like that's a super powerful phrase. Swipe that, bring it up to the headline.
yeah.
Those are things like leverage what you already have. She already has a lot of juicy bits here.
Oh, I'm going to sign up for her email list like the moment
my
we
God.
hang up. Yeah.
I live for it. My
Yeah.
kids are on it. My whole family's on it.
Oh, good. All right. So, I mean, I've met Paya. She's a client. She's a regular client in our LinkedIn engagement growth community. But I just met her the other day on a Zoom call, so I don't know her that well yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
I know some of the clients that she supports,
Yeah.
and they are absolute powerhouses.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want to be like at the top of your game, this is
Paya helps you get there. Yeah. Or supports you get there. Yeah. Awesome. Very good. So, yeah, and Pay again. Also, feel free to run since you are a client. Please feel free to run some header ideas by me. I'd be happy to help you with that.
Yeah,
And having said that, yeah,
so she knows. Yep.
yeah, to all of you who have submitted your profiles, and to all of you who are interested in having help with your profiles, I want to tell you about two resources, and I will put them into the chat after this. And by the way, something's going on with the chat. Something's not connecting right with LinkedIn. We had 0 engagement, which is weird. Something's not right there. Yeah, because I know we had engagement. So sorry to all of those who I will get to all of your questions right after this. So for those of you who had their profile looked at, Judi will reach out to you on LinkedIn DM, take her up on the offer to get an email with all the suggestions. She has spent quite some time preparing for you. And she also has an offer attached to it, which in light of what we're doing here today and how incredible she is a freaking no-brainer. And then we have on our on DM me if you're interested. I have a little course. It's just $47 on how to beef up your LinkedIn profile, and it's really like a step-by-step, section by section, and everything it's short little videos and really actionable, very focused advice. So between those two little resources, if you need help with a profile, you're super well covered. And definitely take Judi up on hers. She's just such a prolific wordsmith, and she's shit ton loads of fun to hang out with. The tipping horses part comes in there.
So likewise, right back at you. And for those who are listening, watching, and otherwise, I have gone through all the steps that Nina talks about how to beef up your LinkedIn profile, and her advice works.
Yep.
So,
I think it does.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
As I'm not just saying that because she invited me here today.
Yeah. And might invite again. Let's see. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being brave enough to submit your profiles.
Yes.
We'll do another one of these at some point soon. So keep your ears and eyes peeled. We'll announce it. And this time I will not mention it in a class, so people from the outside actually have a chance to get their profile submitted, not just
no idea it would be like that fast.
Yeah.
It was.
For sure. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for listening live or in the replay. And, the comments are there to engage with us and ask questions. So please go ahead. And I look forward to seeing you all very soon.
Same.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much, Judi, for being here with us. All right.